want to quickly cut across to Mr. R.R. Swain, the Director General of Jammu and Kashmir Police, joining us on this special broadcast. Mr. Swain, welcome on India Today. Sir, you've stirred quite a hornet's nest with your comment. Political parties cultivated leaders of terror networks for votes. Sir, can you elaborate on this, please? Which are these political parties? Which are these political leaders?
No. I mean, that was very honestly a different context in which that was said. I must candidly make a mention that the occasion was an address to a select gathering in the Indian Institute of Management, where we were a keynote address as to how strategies are made, whether it is for large organizations or nation states who are busy into making national security strategies. So it was a very different academic context in which this was discussed. Yes, it was discussed in the context that analysis and diagnosis have to be made when you really devise policies. So that was the context.
Okay.
It was in a very different setup in which it was made. Now,
sir, let me come to the second aspect. What you've also said is, while terror recruits were eliminated, but those responsible for the recruitment and those responsible for arranging funds were never investigated. So what is the time period that you talk of, and does this problem persist in Jammu and Kashmir, that funds availability to terrorists and recruiters, they continue to flourish?
See, I mean, again, when you are talking about making a strategy that would work, you are certainly trying to think of an action plan where you would like to reach a different destination. So definitely you would always visit your strategies if the aim is that you do not want to remain in a state of logjam, an impasse in which no side is winning, and there is a gray area in which you are living. You would like to reach a solution or a destination where very clearly you would like a definite defeat of the enemy and a kind of a peace being restored, which is long lasting, and in a system in which the Jammu and Kashmir witnesses peace, prosperity, and lives in harmony with the rest of India. So therefore, it was, when you were setting goals, long-term strategies, you are very clear about as to what you want. So when you are very clear as to these are the objectives, then you have to find out as to what plans of action you will take and where exactly things are going wrong, and how you are getting derailed or you are not reaching your destination. So it is in that context, in a very pure academic context I had spoken about. I think we should discuss that in a very separate setting.
But the situation
we are discussing.
Yeah, go on, sir. You thought we were discussing? Go on, sir. Kindly go on, sir. Because Mehbooba Mufti, the former Chief Minister of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, wants you to be axed, and she's used some very harsh words for you in terms of, saying that you're trying to fix things, you're being a political fixer, or words to that effect, sir.
No, let's. I think it's wise to avoid. You see. When you are strategizing or when you are making an analysis, you are not indicating at individuals or individual parties or individual entities. You are trying to take stock of the entire spectrum of actors, players, forces which are at play. And there are a variety of situations which are systemic, which often overwhelms individuals and individual parties. So it is these systemic features of a kind of an ecosystem which, unless you address it fundamentally, you would really not be able to break out of a logjam or an impasse. I mean, you would not head towards what you call a decisive victory. You would continue to be in a state of seesaw.
Sir, why are we still in a state of seesaw, if I may? Are we still in a state of seesaw? Article 370 was abrogated on 5th of August 2019. Now we are in 2024, and Pakistani terrorists or Pakistan state-sponsored radical Islamist terror is still bleeding us now south of Pir Panjal. Where are we failing, sir?
See, as we speak, you see, all of us are very clear anyone who visits Kashmir Valley is aware that the situation has visibly changed. It is not in terms of statistics alone or always, but anyone who has a first-hand experience of Kashmir would know that the fear factor has come down. Average villager would certainly say that you see the way the political parties went about their electioneering, went about holding small little nukkad parties, rallies, and late night. So there is an element of change which is certainly palpable. Now, the fact is that this is a war in which, as we say, that you have to run the antibiotic course. You can't live in between. Obviously, when you are trying to reduce the influence of an adversary which had invested itself for about more than 35 years, and perhaps earlier, obviously, they would not sit idle. Now, what I'm saying is that the course that we are having, the strategy that we are adopting, must run its course to be able to achieve a lasting peace. So this is a work in progress in which I would say that as far as the Jammu thing is concerned, broadly speaking, you see there are very few number of terrorists. You would recall that between 1995 to 2006, I think for about 11 years in Jammu province, we witnessed a lot of violence, a very intense phase of terrorism in which not only individuals but community specific massacres had taken place. Yes. See, the strategy of the enemy is certainly very obviously is trying to sort of see that it doesn't lose the influence it had in Jammu and Kashmir. It is not only about, you see, the influence does not only mean about ability to kill. It means the ability to kill and terrorize is a part of the overall design. Through that,
sir,
they would
south
like
of Pir Panjal,
capture a complete system, a complete society. That is how a victory is achieved.
But sir, south of Pir Panjal, his arc of operation, the enemy's arc of operation is increasing. He started with Poonch Rajouri. Now he's expanding to Riasi and Doda. I mean, God forbid, next he'll either hit you in Kashmir or he'll hit you in Punjab. Either ways, the terrorist arc is improving. Point one. Point two, permit me, sir. I've covered terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir in the late 1990s and through the phases post-Kargil. I want to understand a terrorist life post that first engagement. The second engagement should take place in 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. Here, terrorists since last 1.5 years have been killing our people in the hinterland. And where are we able to re-engage them? Is this weakness of our intelligence grid or is this weakness of our operations grid?
No. Be assured that, as I said, that the number of terrorists are limited. They are taking advantage of 2 to 3 things. Anyone who is aware of Jammu province, Jammu is not Kashmir. Kashmir is a flat land. It's a place where it is reachable by roads and mobile connectivity. When the information comes and the action takes place, the gap is very little. Now here is a place, first, it is extremely mountainous and full of jungles. It is almost 2.5 times larger than Kashmir province. Yes. Almost the entire, the districts of Kashmir, Doda, Ramban, Rajouri, Poonch, and large parts of Kathua and Udhampur and even Riasi are absolutely mountains, not an inch of land which is flat. Now, what happens is 3 to 4 months of every year opens up. The upper reaches opens up. Vast grasslands and forest opens up. The villages go up. Now, these are the places, these 3-4 months actually have places where it is now full of migratory people who are grazing their lands. So the enemy has kind of developed a tactics of placing them here in as if, beyond the enemy line, SF types. So a handful of people certainly have been able to cause loss, but that is certainly nowhere near being able to create a situation like Kashmir. Why? Because firstly, the people are with us. If you go to Bhadrabad today, if you go to Doda today, if you go to Kishtwar today, if you go to Riasi today, you will find that the entire range of people, villagers, through their village defense committees and through the SPOs, they are willing to be part of the fight. They know that a couple of people who are not connected with the land, who have got no stake, completely foreign origin, Pakistan origin, have managed to come heavily armed and are taking advantage of the heights and are taking advantage of that, these 3 months of opening which they have in the heights where people are there. They can go with the gunpoint and get food and then hide back into the villages. Now,
permit me.
Yes.
In these 3-4 months, why can't you put additional forces on these routes? Put a COB, put a company operating base there, put your drones there, put additional forces there, or have better intelligence, mount quick counter operations if they're operating in an area, put police and SOG in those villages where they come for food and water?
There are several things which are on. Now, all of this cannot really be discussed in an open forum like this. The tactics, the micro tactics, obviously you would understand, Gauravji, cannot be discussed. Now that the challenge has come up, it is certainly being responded. I can only assure you that sooner than later, these perpetrators will be made to face, the dose of martyrdom from their point of view. Actually, there are very handful, and the only question of time when the tactics changes and we are in a position to get at them.
Fair enough, sir. Wish you all the best in eliminating these terrorists. Of course, as you know better, sir, you've dealt with the situation for so long. This is like pruning the branches of the terror tree with roots in Pakistan. Perhaps all of you know so much better how those roots need to be eliminated. Mr. R.R. Swain, Director General of Jammu and Kashmir Police, for joining me here on this India Today special broadcast. Many thanks. We will continue to track this story very, very closely. That's all I have time for on this broadcast. Many thanks for watching.